Nicaragua, along with other Latin American countries, was occupied by the United States during the Interwar period. This era of U.S. occupation and intervention is known as the Banana Wars. When I first read about this, I thought that there'd be some sort of interesting meaning behind the name, but no, it turns out Central America has a ton of bananas. Nicaragua, in particular, was intervened because of concerns that its leaders would create conflicts with U.S. interests in the country. The Bryan-Chamorro Treaty was signed in 1914 and allowed them to control a propositional canal through Nicaragua, so you can imagine that these Yankees had a lot of power over the small nation. Nicaragua's economy was definitely not doing well after World War I, because of Germany doing what they did. Investments in Germany fell from $10 to $2.8 million in 1918, which was terrible for Nicaragua, as they heavily relied on exports, which led to the USA changing its occupational focus from political to economic. Ever since the president of Nicaragua at the time, Emiliano Chamorro Vargas, declared war on Germany the year prior, many liberals and nationalists were against the government, and a civil war broke out against the conservatives from 1926 to 1927. After a few months of battle, the U.S. had sent the Navy to protect their image, Juan Bautista Sacasa declared himself constitutional president of Nicaragua, and Chamorro resigned. Guerrilla warfare against the regime in U.S. Marines was sustained by General Augusto Cesar Sandino for about 6 years until 1933, when the Americans finally left because of their own depression, not without setting up a U.S. loyal National Guard in the nation to replace the Marines. And all was well, except for the fact that Sandino and everyone in his new agricultural colony were assassinated by the National Guard soldiers a year later. The Great Depression obviously was bad for Nicaragua. Exports suffered even more because of international demand. Income fell and poverty rose, the whole thing. Introducing Anastasio Somoza Garcia, the director of the National Guard. He became dictator after deposing Sacasa and winning a rigged election. The Somoza dynasty went on to be the longest military dictatorship in Nicaragua history. And that takes us up to World War II. In summary, Nicaragua went from U.S. occupation to civil war to a dictatorship that would last 52 years. Thank you for watching.